You guys, so Rob and I are in my basement, and we haven't done a boiler video in a while.
In years.
So a funny thing happened to me this week. I was on my way to the gym, and my daughter called me, and she goes, "Dad, it's not good. Something bad happened." You always like that phone call, right? So I'm like, what could possibly go wrong now? She said there's water all over the basement floor, and I'll show you what happened. So I have a Weil McLain boiler, and there's a relief valve right here, and that is set for, what was it, 30 psi, Rob?
30 psi, yeah.
So what it does is when the boiler builds up too much pressure, it's a safety. That kicks open and it lets out the excess pressure. And water was all over the floor. But I'm actually kind of glad it happened because the boiler was building up too much pressure. And it should be running around like, what was it, 15 to 17 psi. Yep. And it had gone all the way up to about 50. So that's not good. It's a bad thing. So I'm not the biggest boiler guy, so I said, "Rob, come over and tell you what's going on here." So Rob flew over. It's great to have a buddy like Rob. Really is. Bails me out all the time, and he was checking out the pressure. What is it? A pressure valve?
Reducer valve.
Pressure reducer valve. This has gone bad. And these things aren't the easiest thing to find. You can't buy them at Home Depot anymore. You can't go to Lowe's. It's a real pain in the ass to get these things. If you try to go to the plumbing warehouse, they want you to be a licensed plumber. We're more than capable of relieving the pressure out of the system and swapping this out on our own, but it's a real bitch to find the things. So I found one on Amazon, but it was just like an offshore brand one. We don't want to put that in there, so I'm going to return it and find another Wells one and probably see if I can replace the guts on this one. And so that it allows in the right pressure into the system, because what happens is the inside of these stick, right, Rob?
Builds up with calcium or hard water.
Yeah, you see hot water and calcium, stuff like that. This furnace is 12 years old. So at that time, this valve was replaced, so it's 12 years old. And over the years, it gets crap in there, and it leaves them open and messes with the adjustment in there, so you don't get the right pressure going in. And it can cause the problem that I have. So the plumber that actually plumbed this in never put a copper pipe on here to go down. We're going to put one of those in later and get this thing fixed and swapped out. I might buy a whole unit. I might just buy a rebuild kit. I'll see if we can find them. Rob said he used to be able to find them all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not so easy anymore, right?
They won't sell them for it.
Yeah, what a pain.
I don't know why.
So that was my fun for this week. This is behind the scenes of what's going on in Tony's life in between doing auto repair videos with Steve. So yeah, it screwed up my whole week. I've been dealing with this all week, and I actually just cleaned the boiler out with Rob, and it actually was really clean in there. I'd rather do it than have a service guy come over. I'm more than capable of doing that. Changed out the filter, we changed out the nozzle and stuff like that. It looks really clean in there. So we're going to go tackle that valve once it comes in the mail.